Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to Eli Talks Football and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing all right today. And this is video number 2 of today because the first video was my Premier predictions for game week number 9. And if you haven't checked already, make sure you go back and look at it because I gave you all of the predictions for game week 9. And now today's video is going to be Chelsea versus Sunderland match preview because that game will be kicking off tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Stamford Bridge. And yeah, Chelsea are looking to get back-to-back to make it 3 Premier Leagues in a row after losing to Brighton because obviously we beat Liverpool, then we beat Nottingham Forest, and now tomorrow we're home against Sunderland. So this should be another game where Chelsea should win. Now in today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys about the massive news that I've heard from the press conference a few hours ago today. And also, I'm going to be telling you guys about what else he talked about in terms of the players, the likes of Esteval, Mark Gu as well. And yeah, we're going to be talking about Chelsea's game against Sunderland, the statistics. Then I'm going to be giving you guys the lineup that I think Enzo Maresca should be going out for tomorrow. Then the prediction, that's basically it. So that is how I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you guys haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification so they never miss my YouTube content. And also, if you are enjoying this video, you can also hype it as well so that more people can come along and also watch the video as well. So whether if you're a Chelsea fan, also fan, you're more than welcome to come to my channel. And if you got your thoughts and feelings after that, then do let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, first things first, let's get straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the major news about the injuries, and this news is going to shock you all, just like it shocked to me when I was watching it earlier today. So here we go. So, as you can see here, breaking news. Enzo Maresca says Liam Delap could be available for the next game because he took part of the session yesterday. Now, this for me is massive news because I would have thought, yeah, that Liam Delap will not be available until December because it was a very bad injury. But this is massive because our next game after Sunderland tomorrow is the Carabao Cup game away from home against Wolves at Molineux Stadium on the 29th of October. So this is massive, This is absolutely massive. And the fact that he even trained for Chelsea just shows you how much we miss Liam Delap because ever since he went off, he got injured, we put João Pedro as a false nine. And then he hasn't been able to get shots, against Man United, Liverpool, Brighton, you know what I mean? So this is an opportunity to see Liam Delap on his return to Chelsea. I don't think he will be starting in the game against Wolves because obviously he could be available for that game. We don't know 100%, but it could happen. But after that, against Wolves, we got Tottenham. So there could be a possibility that he might be able to feature in that game, which is very good to see. And I'm hoping that João Pedro this time could be playing in number 10 because for me, yes, I do agree. João Pedro could play as a false nine or as in a 10. But for me, the reason why I think he's better in a 10 is because there's no Cole Palmer. He's still got to go in injury and he'll not be available until possibly for the game against Arsenal, in about 4 weeks' time. So that's why if Cole Palmer was playing in the 10 and João Pedro's playing up top, then I understand because both them did well in the PSG in the Club World Cup final. So that's why for me, if that happens, then fair enough. But there's no Cole Palmer and Buonanotte is on loan. So that's why for me, for this game, for the next 2 games, I want to see João Pedro in the 10 and I want to see Mark Guru playing up top. Because Mark Guru scored a good goal as strikers should be doing. He was good in the game against Ajax. And also, João Pedro was suspended for that game. So he rested and now he needs to start. If I ever see João Pedro as a false nine, then I'm not gonna be happy. Because João Pedro for me plays better in the 10. And Sunderland most of the time plays a I'm just gonna have a quick look on how Sunderland play. Let me just have a look at their last game and how they played. So obviously they beat Wolves away, but let's see what the formation they put out. So look at this. Sunderland play a 4-2-3-1, but most of the time they play, they try play low block because that's because if Sunderland, many teams respect Chelsea. Some of them do, some of them not. And they know that the only way to frustrate Chelsea is to play low block because that's how we usually struggle. But the Sunderland play 4-2-3-1 in their last game. So they normally play the same formation as us, but it could make a bit difficult. So that's why for me, João Pedro needs to play in the 10 because that's how you get the best out of him. Because he can get inside the penalty box, he can score goals, and he also can create. The last time, he scored a goal and got an assist was against Fulham, and that was the time where he played as a number 10. Ever since then, Man United, false 9, Liverpool, Brighton, Ajax, Benfica, all of these games, sorry, not Ajax, Benfica, all of these games, he was playing as a false 9, and that for me didn't work. So this is an opportunity for Mark Guru because even though I don't rate him and we brought him back from Sunderland, you saw his performance against Forest. He came on, made a difference. Could have scored, but at least he done good. In the Ajax game, he was good. Where Sofana had, heads it to his teammates, and Mark Guru, puts in above the net as he should do. So this why Mark Guru for me needs. I don't say he's starting every day, every game, but give him more minutes because because that'll build his confidence, and if he can score goals and be clinical, then this is why, for me, hopefully Liam Delap can get some rest because, like we said, Enzo Muesca said, he's possibly could be available for the game against Wolves. We don't know 100%, but it can happen. And that's massive because we miss Liam Delap, man. We miss him. And I heard people saying that Liam the crap, he's a flop already. And I'm thinking, what are you guys talking about? Don't you realize that he only played like 2 Premier League games for Chelsea? 2. And he's injured. So for me, I'm gonna give him time. I'm gonna give him time. You know what I mean? So yes, Liam Delap may not be scoring a lot of goals, but he's injured most of the time. And I'm hoping that when he comes back, he can score goals and he can, start to become the player that he was in the Club World Cup. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give Liam Delap a bit more time. So let's just calm down of him being a flop. Let's just calm down for that one. But yeah, so yeah, that's massive news, and that's it. So still no Cole Palmer, still no Badiashile. They're still injured, but our players are getting back to fitness, which is good. Raisi Fofana starting the game against Ajax and looked good. So let's hope we can keep him fit. Lavio as well. So there we go. And the fact that Enzo Fernandez came back from injury and puts on that performance just shows you how good he is. Starts off really bad, but he's starting to improve just a little bit. So there we go. But yeah, our fitness is getting back to form. So it is what it is, man. Now, in terms of who I want to see in the lineup, for me, I hate to say this, but Chalobah and Tosin, I feel like both of them needs to be dropped. Both of them. Because Tosin was absolutely awful in the game against Ajax. There was no need whatsoever to be making that tackle on Weghorst. There was no need. And Philip Jorgensen should have saved that. Because that was a poor penalty from Weghorst, but it's all Tosin's fault. And think for me that Tosin, as good as he player as he is, I don't think the Champions League suits him. I really don't. So for me, both him and Chalobah needs to be dropped. And Hato, and for me, the 2 centre backs for me I want to see is Hato and Josh Ajapong. Because when Josh Ajapong came on against Ajax, it looked good. Hato as well was very good defensively again against Ajax. So for me, I feel like both our centre backs has to be Hato and Josh Ajapong. Yes, they're both young, but that's who we got. Because there's still no Badiashile and there's still no Lever Colwell. And for me, Tosin, but Chalobah cannot be playing as a left centre back because he's a right footer, not left. And the same goes for Tosin. He's more of a right foot than he does on his left foot. And this is why I've been crying out for us to get to the centre back when Mark Gray was available. But it looks like somehow next summer we're gonna sign Mike Mayan and Mark Gray here. But the question is, why could we do this in the summer transfer window? I do not know. Don't even ask me, because I'm not the owner. I don't play for Chelsea, so I do not know. But I know is that for me, um, Chalobah and Tosin needs to be dropped. The next game against Wolves, then yeah, you can both start them. But in the game against Sunderland, both drop both of them, if you know what I mean. So there we go. But yeah, man. In terms of the Sunderland's game, Enzo Maresca said that they're a very good team, and obviously they're on the same points as us. Same wins, same draws, same defeats. So Sunderland are a good team, but we are at home and we should be winning that game. If this was away from home, then boy, then that game will be very difficult, because Sunderland at home is just unbelievable. So far, no losses at the Stadium of Light. Even they doing like Everton as well, unbeaten at home. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but we're at home and we should win. Sunderland are a good team, and when it comes to like Enzo Wesker saying about SFL, like he keeps saying it, he's only allowed 25 in the squad for all competitions, and in the football you only have allowed to have 11 players on the pitch. So that's why I like Enzo Wesker, because he wants to because he wants these players to be fit enough. You saw Reece James, he didn't start because of his fitness. The same goes for Enzo Fernandez in the game against Forest. He was injured. So for me, we need to make sure that our players are fit enough so that they won't get another injury. So that's why I like Enzo Wesker, because he's managing these players very, very well. So that's the one thing I will give him credit. But yeah, Sunderland are a good team. They have the likes of Granit Xhaka, the former Arsenal player, who the last time he played against Chelsea, scored a free kick, did the double over us. So let's just hope that we can make sure that Granit Xhaka doesn't get any more wins against Chelsea, because that would be so annoying. So yeah, man, we need to win. We have to win, and if we do win, and let's say that Bournemouth, Arsenal, Liverpool, the teams that are above us drop points, we could be 2 points behind Arsenal after game week 9, which is absolutely crazy. The amount of injuries we've got, the red cards as well. So yeah, listen, we managed to not get a red card against Ajax. Let's hope we don't do the same thing against Sunderland. I just hope so. So there we go. But yeah, before I read out, before I get into my predicted lineup, let me just give you guys the stats for this game. So here it is. So since suffering a 3-1 home defeat to Brighton in the Premier League at the end of September, Chelsea have put together a 4-match winning run in all competition, scoring 11 goals and conceding just 2 in the process. Enzo Maresca's men follow up victories against Benfica 1-0, Liverpool 2-1, and Nottingham Forest 3-0, with 5-1 fashion of 10-men Ajax in the Champions League on Wednesday night. The Blues became the first team in competition history to have 3 teenagers score in the same match, thanks to goals from Mark Guru, SFL William, and Tariq George. A total of 10 players aged 21 or younger featured for Chelsea in a one-sided affair against Ajax. In the Premier League, the Blues have the youngest average of the starting lineup, 24 years and 116 days. Well, I'm 24, and tomorrow there's going to be something special for that, and I'll tell you, and I'm not going to tell you this right now. So there we go. While I yet to have a single player over the age of 28 under Enzo Maresca, since sitting fifth in the top flight standings after 8 matches, which is 4 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses, Chelsea will welcome another match at Stamford Bridge this weekend, the 5th home fixture in 6, as only Man City have collected more points, Premier League whole points in 2025 than the Blues, and in that time we've only lost 1, which was against Brighton. So there you go. Their sole defeat at home this year was a 4-1 loss to Brighton, which I just mentioned. Chelsea head to Sunday's contest with Sunderland, having won just under half their 100 meetings with the Blackouts against all competitions, 61 out of 125, including each of the last 3 home encounters by an aggregate score of 11 goals to 3. Sunderland have accumulated 14 points from the opening 8 Premier League matches this season, which represents their best return at this stage of a top-flight campaign since 1999 to 2000 season, where they also picked up 40 points and won their 9th game. The Black Cats were deservedly beaten 2-0 by Man United before the international break, but they bounced back last weekend to a win by the same scoreline at home basement club Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Stadium of Light, courtesy of a first half strike from Nodori Mikelele and a second half on goal. There is plenty of the Premier League football still to play in the 25-26 season, but Sunderland have demonstrated that they're more capable of competing in the top flight after 8 years away, and currently sit 7th in the table, just 2 points by Man City second and 9 points clear of the relegation zone. Head coach Wesley Brice is now preparing for his team for a big test against a top 4 team in Chelsea, with the Black Cats travelling to Stamford Bridge this weekend unbeaten the last 13 away league matches against London-based opposition since losing 2-1 at Fulham in April 2018. This impressive run represents the longest ever without an away league defeat in the capital. Well, let's hope that all changes tomorrow. And finally, Sunderland have come out on top with 3 of the last 26 Premier League contenders, with Chelsea drawing 2 and losing 21, having previously won 4 of the last 6 between 1996 and 2001. So that is all the stats you need to know about between Chelsea and Ajax. So listen, in terms of October, we managed to get wins in the Premier League. So Enzo and Wesker could be contention of, alongside Mikel Arteta, to get the manager of the month, because so far we beat Liverpool, we beat Forest, and now if he beats Sunderland and I think that's it. So if he beats Sunderland, you could put Enzo Wesker could potentially get the manager of the month, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, man, October, very, very good for us. Unbeaten in all 4 competitions in the month of October. So let's hope that we can. Wait, is it true? So Liverpool, then Forest. Wait, yeah. Did we? Who else did we play in October? I'm just gonna have a quick look. Let me see. Um, let me just have a look. Yeah, okay, no, so far we're unbeaten in 3 games in all competitions in October. So yeah, tomorrow we got Sunderland, then we got Wolves, and that will be it. And then we got Tottenham on the 1st of November. So yeah, so far so good for Chelsea, man. So far so good. So we got Sunderland and we should win. We should win. They are a very good team, but away from home so far, they only managed to get only 1 win away from home, and that was under Ange Postecoglou's team. So this time, they've lost 2-0 to Man United at Old Trafford. So let's hope that let's hope that Chelsea can get a win and a clean sheet the way Manchester United did 2 weeks ago. So there we go. But yeah, man, that is all of my thoughts and feelings on how Chelsea should win. Now let me give you guys my lineup for tomorrow's game. And so, starting in goal, I'm going to go with Robert Sanchez, because Philip Jorgensen, didn't have anything much to do in the Ajax game. But what he could have done was save the penalty, because that was a poor penalty. But like I said, it was Tosin that was at fault for that, because there was no need to make that challenge. So for me, yeah, Robert Sanchez, I mean, this season, I haven't seen much of Bozo moments, kept a clean sheet in the game against Forest. So yeah, man, but I still think he's not good enough. But this season so far, he has been okay, but not that great. But I still don't trust him though. But overall, he starts today. I mean, sorry, for tomorrow. In terms of left back, I'm gonna go for Mark Cucurella as always, because this guy, one of the best left backs in the league. So let's just hope that he can do well. Now, in terms of centre backs, I'm going to make 2 changes to the Forest game. So left centre back, I'm going to go for João Hato. And on the right, I'm going to go for Josh Ajampong. Actually, no, Josh Ajampong started in that game against Forest. So there we go. But yeah, only 1 change, and that is João Hato, because Tosin was awful. Wesley Fofana did good in the game against Ajax, but the reason why I'm starting João Hato is because of Wesley Fofana's fitness. We don't want to keep starting this guy every single game so that he gets another injury, because Wesley Fofana is a good player. He really is. But but for tomorrow's game, I'm gonna start with João Hato because Chalobah cannot play in that position. There is no bad issue. There is no lever Cole still, and tossing for me, yeah, just awful. So for me, João Hato and Josh Achimpong because he's starting to look very good for Chelsea after that mistake against Brighton. So there we go. In terms of right back, I'm gonna go for Reece James. Now, if Caicedo starts in that position, I don't mind because it worked in the game against Ajax. But for me, Reece James it was rested for the Ajax game, so he needs to start. And for me, I never want to see Gusto starting for Chelsea. If you want to start Gusto, put him as right back. I don't want to see him in the midfield again or inverting. You know, at all because Gusto for me, and I'm so glad, yeah, that he's not going to be available for that game because he was absolutely awful as well for the game against Nottingham Forest. So I'm so glad he's not playing because I'm starting to lose my patience with him. I really want to back this guy, but it's just making me difficult to back him. Very difficult. So for me, Reece James is right back. In terms of midfield, I'm going to go for Enzo and Moise Caicedo because both of them were superb in the game against Ajax. So, yeah, man. So, yeah, those are my pivot. Now, in terms of the left wing, I'm going to go for Pedro Neto. Do not get me wrong. Jamie Gittens was very good in a game against Ajax. But for me, we need to see him doing this consistently. Garnacho for me needs to be dropped because he was absolutely terrible. Maybe one of the worst players for the Forest game because he was slow, he was lethargic, his decision making was poor. Everything about Garnacho in that game was poor. So if Jamie Gitton starts, I wouldn't mind. But for tomorrow's game, I will start Pedro Neto because in the Forest game, he looked better on the left than he did on the right. So that's why I feel I'm going to go for Pedro Neto. In terms of the 10, like I said before, João Pedro. Because for me, putting me as a false 9 needs to end. It needs to end. Because João Pedro, for me, can score and create in that position. So for me, João Pedro. In terms of the right wing, I'm going to go for Esteban William because he was outstanding in the game against Ajax. Could have scored 4 or 5 goals, but listen, he's a special man. He is so special. And I tell you what, yeah, if he continues to do like this consistently, I have no doubt that he will become a world class player. I'm not gonna put him just in that bracket yet. He's the best, but he needs to do this consistently in order for me to say he's a world class player. But this kid is so special, absolutely special. So for me, he needs to start. And in terms up top, I'm gonna go for Mark Guru. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's the way I pronounce it, Margoud, because he came on against Forest and made the difference. He scored against Ajax, so for me, he needs to start this game because Liam Delap is not available for today, even though he trained yesterday, but he could be available for the game against Wolves this Wednesday. So at the moment in time, I'm gonna start Margoud. Want to see Margoud playing up top. I never want to see João Pedro in the team ever again. That one needs to end. But yeah, people, that is my lineup that I think Enzo Fernandez, I keep on saying his name wrongly, Enzo Maresca should be putting out for the game against Sunderland tomorrow. Last thing is predictions. Now, I'm confident that my team is going to win this game. So I feel like I'm going to go for a 3-0 Chelsea win. And it all depends on our centre backs because, like I said in the last video, our attack is starting to look good. Our problem right now is no longer our attack and the midfield as well. It's our defense that's a problem. For me, if I see Tosin in that starting lineup alongside Chalobah, we are still winning, but we are definitely conceding. Definitely. But if I see João Hato and Pong in the starting lineup, we'll keep a clean sheet because João Hato looked good when he against Ajax, and Josh Pong is starting to improve after that 3-1 defeat against Brighton. So for me, it all depends on the centre backs. Our attack, no problem. Midfield, no problem. The fullbacks, no problem. But it's our centre backs, yeah, that I'm worried about. That's the only position. So I'm just hoping he puts João Hato, and Josh Pong in that position. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that is it, guys. That's the end of video number 2 for today. Don't forget there will be a live watch along and a match reaction, for that. So make sure you guys tune in, and there will be a special live stream for that one. And I'm not going to tell you until tomorrow. So make sure you guys don't tell anybody else, because I don't want everybody else to find out what's happening tomorrow. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the hype button as well if you absolutely enjoyed it. Make sure you share this video to all your friends and your family. And if you got your thoughts and feelings about this game, and if you agree or disagree with anything that I said, then do let me know in the comments down below as well. So yeah, man, Chelsea, can they make it 3 Premier League wins in a row in the month of October? I hope so. So Sunderland are a good team, but we're at home and we should win. So I'm confident that my team is going to beat Sunderland by 3-0. Right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, come on, you Blues.